Are single pastors a red flag? Valid question. Now, if you don't have a working knowledge of the Bible, you probably have heard someone say, or you thought, man, single pastor, gotta be a red flag. No, it's not. That's not a biblical thought. Let's look at this. Look at the actual Bible. So Jesus was he's God. He came in the flesh 2,000 years ago, 100% God, 100% man. He never married, ever. But he's married to the church. Amen. Now, Peter the apostle, he had a wife. He was married. We don't know much about that. All that we know is that his mother-in-law was sick in the Bible. Jesus healed the mother-in-law. And historical documents say that he had basically that they took his wife. We don't really know if that's accurate though, but according to church writings, they took his wife in persecution to be killed, and he told her to remember the Lord. I have a video about that. Paul the apostle, he was an apostle. Remember, fivefold is apostle, prophet, pastor, teacher, and evangelist. So, the same thing applies. Is a single apostle a red flag? Is a single prophet a red flag? A single teacher, single evangelist, a single pastor a red flag? Paul the apostle was single, and he was an apostle. He had no wife. He did not marry. Okay? Jeremiah, a prophet. He did not marry. He had no wife. Hosea, he married a prostitute because God told him to. Right? Aquila and Priscilla, the greatest biblical example of a power couple. That's relationship goals. They were a married couple working for the Lord. Amen? Should you be married in order to be qualified to do ministry is the real question. No. Don't have to be. But if you feel led, you have the desire in your heart, you feel that the Lord is leading you towards marriage, there are clear parameters, meaning husband and wife, not Steve and Steve, not Eve and Eve, right? Husband and wife, male and female, the two become one flesh. That's the parameters. The Bible also says to be equally yoked with believers. You shouldn't be marrying an unbeliever thinking that you're going to convert them. It's unwise. That'll be a house built on an unsolid foundation. It will crumble if that person more than likely doesn't get saved. If you happen to get saved within your already married marriage, your behavior can convert your spouse. I've heard testimonies in churches where the wife's godly behavior planted many seeds and the husband ended up getting saved. Took some time. God is merciful, gave her the strength to endure it. Same thing happens to men. Don't marry because of looks. Don't marry because you're desperate, because you just desire sex. These are silly reasons to marry. Get to know your spouse before you marry them. I encourage you to go through marriage counseling prior for a while. Don't make mistakes you can avoid. I encourage men to be prepared to provide for a wife and to be established. Otherwise, you're not ready for marriage. If you don't like compromise, you're not ready for marriage. If you're unteachable, you're not ready for marriage. This goes for women and men. For women, if you're not ready for a man to lead, and if you're just going to try to be the man in the relationship, you're not ready for marriage. Men, if you don't know how to love someone and consider them and prioritize and put them first, you're not ready for marriage. If you don't know how to treat people with decency, integrity, and respect, and just basic respect on a human level, you're not ready for marriage. You get the point. Are single pastors a red flag? No. Now, if they are single, they should be acting godly just as much as a married pastor or a married apostle or whatever. Be blessed. Be encouraged. If your pastor is married, or whatever fivefold that you submit to or that you associate yourself with, observe their marriages. You can learn things. You can only know about so much from the outside, but you can learn things as a single person on how to behave by looking at the godly behavior. Follow their godly example. If they're ungodly, don't follow their example, obviously. Yeah.